Major events, fellow supporters, American patriots. Today is a day that has to be taken very seriously. We see the stock market continuing to crash. It's already gone down well over 1,000 points. It's 600 points down just this morning. And of course, Nancy Pelosi, the wicked witch of the left, the dual wicked witch with Hillary Clinton, wants to create panic. She's create panic with the coronavirus, no doubt. And every day we talk about it, the more the stock market is going to crash. But I'll tell you something, the president doesn't need to understate it as well, because it is a serious matter. I believe that the Chinese government is responsible for this. I believe that in Wuhan, which is where this started, they have a weapons facility, a bioweapons facility. I believe it got loose. And the government of China has tremendous damage that they're going to have to pay. And we're looking at that at Freedom Watch right now to bring lawsuits. You know, I like the Chinese people. It has nothing to do with them, but it's their government, which is truly evil. And they probably were experimenting, and it got loose. There was a movie about this years ago called The Andromeda Strain with regard to it happening in the United States. Well, apparently now it's happening worldwide. And this threatens not just the economy of China, not just the people of China, but the people of the world. And it's something we need to look at. But the president should not downplay it, even though Nancy Pelosi is trying to whip up frenzy, because what they're trying to do is to destroy the stock market, to destroy the economy, and that'll be their argument as to why Trump should be defeated in 2020. They would rather have American people suffer than have President Trump reelected. Despicable, disgusting. We know who these people are. And that's why at Freedom Watch, we're seeking to bring them to justice. Watch what we do in the next month or so. We will be bringing Nancy Pelosi to justice, Adam Schiff, Shifty Schiff, Nadler, the whole gang of criminals up there on Capitol Hill, along with Comey, McCabe, Clapper, Brennan, the Clintons, and Obama. Of course, they've all skated under our current Attorney General, Bill Barr. I mean, this guy is a total fraud. He is part of the Washington Republican establishment, which is the same thing, just the flip side of the coin of the Democrat establishment. They all collaborate with each other. They go on their various talk shows. If you're Republican, you go on the prime time of Fox. If you're Democrat, you go on CNN and MSNBC. But in the end, they assist each other in stuffing money into their pockets and taking actions at the expense of the American people. And speaking of Fox, quite by chance, because I generally turn it off, I happened to watch Hannity a little bit last night. He's up to his old tricks, and the people that he has on there, Jim Jordan, Nunes, Congressman Nunes, Devin Nunes, John Solomon. I like John. He was actually honest about the whole thing, but it was your usual Hannity fraudulent charade, claiming that there will be justice over the FISA abuse, over the mass surveillance, not just against President Trump, not just against his family, not just against his colleagues, not just Carter Page, not just General Flynn, but everybody, that there will be justice. Late-breaking developments, major news, Sean Hannity, major news. There's no major news. The only major news is that he continues to try to boost his ratings and advertising dollars for his own benefit, stuffing money into his pocket. Go back and look on the internet, too, see what he did in Atlanta, buying up millions of dollars of low-income slumlord housing using government subsidies to do it, and then kicking African Americans out onto the street after that. So I'm tired of these people. I'm tired of them. And John Solomon was the only one on there last night that, didn't make a bold prediction that justice was around the corner. But it is around the corner if you'll support Freedom Watch, our citizens' grand juries that are going to be started very, very shortly. Actually, last year, we indicted Mueller, and he's going to be tried. We indicted and we convicted him. And our hard-hitting cases, lawsuits that we brought against Joe Biden. I brought it myself for messing around with our YouTube channel, playing games. That's in a court right now. And we just brought a case the other day, Larry Klayman, in his private capacity for George Zimmerman against little Pete Buttigieg and Elizabeth Warren for defaming him as a white supremacist. Well, George is not even white, but he's not a white supremacist. He was acquitted on grounds of self-defense. Now, I have to commend the president. It's a little late, but at least he finally did it. He filed a lawsuit through his campaign against the New York Times for definitively accusing him of having a conspiracy, an agreement with the Russian government to win the 2016 elections. That's obviously not proven. That's a false fact. It's actionable as defamation. And I was watching Andrew McCarthy today. I think he needs a course on defamation. And he claimed that was opinion. That's not opinion. That's a fact. And the New York Times knew or should have known. They had a reckless disregard at a minimum for the truth, which is how you prove actual malice if you're a public figure. The president's a public figure. I believe this is a great case. And we're going to be intervening in that case on behalf of Jerry Corsi, because this whole thing got him enmeshed in the Russian collusion witch hunt. Jerry Corsi being my client. We already prevented him, yours truly, from being indicted months ago, while Roger Stone was indicted and convicted on 7 felony counts. So I commend the president for that. Now, people are making predictions, such as so-called Judge Napolitano, Lachlan Murdoch, the head of Fox News's darling, I would say, because he's going left. Everybody else is going left except a few of the primetime hosts on Fox. And Napolitano predicts that suit will be dismissed. Well, you know what? He may be right, because if it gets in front of a hack judge, and frankly, most of them are when it comes to these matters, at least in the federal court level, then it could happen. But it is a viable case. It's a strong case. Jerry Corsi was damaged by this, and we're going to be moving to intervene in that lawsuit as well, along with the president, and we'll try to help him out however we can. So that's my message for today. There are a lot of things happening. The stock market's crashing. We've got false predictions of justice. So go to freedomwatchusa.org and sign up for our Justice League and help us seek justice. We are your Justice Department. And we have the president finally bringing lawsuits, which I've urged him to do now for 3.5 years. And we're going to intervene to make sure this is done right on behalf of Dr. Jerome Corsi. We've got to keep these people on defense. If you have a good offense, they can't score. You'll hold the ball. And that's the game, and that's what Larry Klayman has always done in his legal practice and in his life. So thank you for listening to me. Please share this podcast. You can find it at radioamerica.com. You can find it at freedomwatchusa.org, at iTunes, at Spotify, at Patreon, on Facebook, and Amazon Prime, on Roku. You can find it all these places. Share it, because we need to educate the American people. And I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you each day through these podcasts. So God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. And God save America. And thank you for listening to me.
Hey, I'm Maurice. As a barber, you might think my scissors are my main tool, but really, it's Metro. That's where I got my iPhone 7. Its camera makes sharing my cuts as simple as snip, snap, share.
Right now, get an iPhone 7 with a camera that shoots 4K for just $49.99 when you switch to the #1 brand in prepaid. Metro by T-Mobile. Rule your day. Requires port in of eligible number not currently active on T-Mobile network or active on Metro in past 90 days, and verification of ID and independent database. Limit 4 per account/household. 32 gigabyte iPhone 7 model only. No tethering. See store for details and terms and conditions. See store for